All right. Okay. So we're officially recording. First and foremost, appreciate you coming on. So for the listeners out there, I don't have that many. Matter of fact, this isn't even.
We gotta speak them into existence, man. They coming.
That's it, man. This is how this came about. Just so you're aware. So my wife, she started a podcast called Some Days Today, and basically it was about just doing whatever it is that you want to do right now, not wait until it's perfect. So like when she first got on and started doing it, it was really just like I was hating on it really, because she was just basically whispering all her stream of thoughts into it. Okay. But then like she said, the whole entire point was for her to start right now and then show the process of getting back bigger and better. And so she kind of inspired me to do the same thing. So it's basically piggybacking off of her.
Okay.
But as I told Mike on this too, part of what I'm trying to do and part of the reason why she decided to do it was that she she was going through some transitions and was trying to grow, outgrow her mental limitations. And, part of what I'm trying to do is do the same kind of thing.
Nice.
So that's part of the reason I wanted to do that. And I understood, because, and just for the listeners again, Jovan and I, we met through Mike Idiokitas, who depending on how we release this and which one you listen to first. He has been instrumental in getting us together to do an investment group. And then, we got together. I remember, on the first few times I started really engaging, I got into some Twitter, not Twitter, but thumb beefs with some of the members on. And I remember
you and Justin historical with that Drake and the
man, that's true. Yep. So Justin from Philly, same Meek Mill territory, hates on Drake. And I'm like, I don't understand why people hate on Drake. But
I like how you stood on your square though. That's one thing I would say. I'd be like at the end of the day, because anytime people hate on Drake, they try to hate on him from the perspective of masculinity. And they try to say, oh, you soft and R&B. Yep. But it's like, nah, he makes dope music. You know what I'm saying? And I like how you navigated that conversation. Because you didn't even worry about the whole, okay, this is going to the streets and whatever. It's not about we keeping it to the music. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. No, I mean, trust me. This, I also mentioned this in the chat too, because back in the days, people used to hate on Jay-Z, and I was on Jay-Z. I was like, yo, Jay-Z is the man. I remember Mike in particular, and Phil back in Pittsburgh. They used to hate on Jay-Z. I used to be like, nah, Jay-Z. Now everybody's like, oh, Jay-Z. I promise you they're going to do the same thing with Drake. First of all.
It's funny you said that, though, because, Mike is a big Nas fan. So that's.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all had
to be a Nas fan if you're a hip-hop fan.
Nah, but he's, I don't know nobody. Mike studies Nas's. The way he structures his lines. Have you ever heard him talk about Nas? Mike used to.
Oh yeah.
Because this is high school. That's maybe high school, middle school, right? Mike would break down his stanzas Nas cuts he rhymes the word and then he cuts his verses in ways that nobody else does. Mike would talk about him like that dude is the god. So then when the whole Jay-Z Nas beef came, it was. You could, but I didn't know y'all. Look, we kind of on a side.
This was before the beef, bro. This was before the beef.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Before, because Jay-Z put out Blueprint, and that's when he started to get some real respect in the backpackers community. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was he's always rapping about women and money and everything like that.
No, I thought it was so Reasonable Doubt. I thought everybody, like you said, the backpackers was on him. And then he went, then he got with Jermaine Dupri.
That's true.
And, Money and the Thing and all that. And he became Jigga. and he's making money. Like he said, I mean, he said, I just made $5 million. I ain't been robbing like common sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he can do that. But see, he lost Mike and all the Nas fans when he did that. But I don't think none of the Nas fans ever respected Jay-Z like that. Because they look at it like he got that Dead President sample and he's a Nas, like, understudy. If you, like, I don't even know if y'all got into this, but if you give Mike on Jay-Z, and I don't know if it's to this day, but he doesn't.
No, I think he respects Jay-Z. Like the way he used to talk about Jay-Z back in when I met him.
Like really dismissive, like
disrespectful. That's straight disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it was not on a level of what people do to Drake, obviously, because Jay-Z comes from the streets or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But it was, it was like
enough. It was enough for you to be able to draw the comparison, though.
Yes, it was because I was like, remember back then, I was the only person standing on my two back then too. So that's what it is. But
that's good stuff.
But yeah, so back to the topic at hand. One of the reasons I had you on here is because, like I said, we had those little beefs, and then I remember you. And this is how it got started, but I know there's way more than that. But I remember you came in and you were like really mature about the way you responded to it. You know what I'm saying? I remember you like taking the, like the, I don't know, like the referee role, I want to call it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you.
I used to like the instigate at the same time, though.
Yeah, I remember because I think it was something that happened. It was probably between me and Phil, where it got heated, and then you came in and it was like, yo, I don't know, you guys probably don't even know each other like that.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude is, he's cool.
Nah, look, Phil. The funny thing about that, if I remember, we talk about the same thing. Phil is like, if you didn't know Phil, you would think that he had like a really short fuse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you would think that he was real emotional. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's not that. It's like he gets irritated. You know what I'm saying? He gets irritated, and it's just like, but it's love though. It's not like he's mad. Like, it's a difference between like if you irritated and you mad. But what I told him is, because he's Jamaican, so his demeanor and how he comes off, it comes off like he's more upset than he really is. And I picked up on it through the group meeting. Cause it's like even how he types, I'm like, oh. So I would hit him on the side, like y'all was going back and forth, and I hit him. I was like, man, stop playing with Mack, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude knows his stuff. So like I'm like instigating it, right? And then I jumped in to keep it going. And the whole time he's like hitting me like, he's like, man, you a fool. I'm like, nah, tell him why you mad, son. Tell him.
I love it.
No, I miss them legacy back and forths, man.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we definitely got to figure out. Oh, that's actually a great point to bring up too. On one of the things that we're talking about, you probably didn't read the Salon article on the difficulty that men have making relationships, but I know that Mike sent another article. Yeah. And I remember when I really started thinking about this, I looked it up, and there were like tons of articles on this, and I actually didn't realize that it was like a phenomenon before, either reading the article or slightly right before that. But anyways, one of the things that they say in a Salon article is that men typically, when they form relationships, they have to be in some sort of like an activity. So like, for example, we started playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, that's how men form relationships. Whereas if I look at my wife and, other girls, like, they don't necessarily have to be doing an activity. They get together, they find each other, they like each other's shoes or whatever. And it's like, I really love you and whatever. Now we want to be best friends. Whereas men, like, I feel like we have to be involved in activity and talking about a specific activity. What do you think about that concept? Just to start off there. I actually wanted to ask another question, but let me ask you that one.
Okay, nah, that's good. Cause no, you're right. Mike did. He did tell me. He told me about. No, yeah, he that was one of his That was one of his catchers, right? His.
What
You
you
know
mean
what I'm talking.
catchers?
Oh, you don't know nothing about bubble
Nah,
catchers?
nah, 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 nah,
Oh, okay, all right.
nah.
But that's I ain't even gonna plug his group, but that's like a whole nother thing he got going on.
Okay, I mean,
Like
you can plug it. You can plug it. All five listeners ain't gonna do much.
So he has this thing called catching bubbles, and I mean, Mike is like,
Oh yeah.
okay. So yeah, he has sent an article, and we might be talking about the same thing. And we actually kind of had this discussion. I mean, men needing to have activities. I mean, I think it helps when like how we came into knowing each other, right? Like because we came in knowing each other through an investment group, which was not as active as it could have been, so it was hard to really like establish those moments to where who is Mack outside of that, right?
Right.
So yeah, because we came into knowing each other that way, I would think that another activity would help give me an appreciation for, oh, this is a cool dude. Oh, we can go, you know what I'm saying, to a spot and kick it and have a good time. I wouldn't have known that just off the investment group. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the activity opened up the opportunity for that to establish. We can say, oh, okay, we got some things in common, whoop-de-whoop. You know, but I'm not saying I needed that though. Like, because I also then think about people like you work with. I mean, would you consider work like your job and activity? Would you say? Because when you said basketball,
definitely not for me.
Okay, right.
Not I mean, not right now. Like, it's something I have to do to pay the bills.
Right. No, but I'm saying like if you met like you met a homie through the job, and you know y'all just had the commonality y'all had was y'all both was black or whatever it is. Y'all both did the same thing. And then, you know, boom, like you'll have a moment where y'all can connect at lunch, or you connecting while you just taking a sanity break. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, y'all cracking jokes, and y'all got like inside jokes about people around the office. And the next thing you know, y'all at a happy hour, y'all cool. Like, I'm just saying, I think stuff platonically happens that way as well. Pause. You know, so I feel like it's gonna be a lot of pause moments in this. Pause. But yeah, with a dude too, because it's like, I mean, just for me, it's like a lot of the people I've met. I got a guy now I look at him as my OG. You know what I'm saying? My man Jermaine, and I met him on the job, right? And we had, I don't know if you consider this a common activity or what have you, but we both was hustling this one contract the same way. I had a job I was logging 8 hours in, and then I had another job that I was also I was double dipping, you know. And we were incriminating myself on the thing. But I was doing it at a different time, so technically I was on my own time or whatever. There's a side hustle.
There it is. Clean it up, baby.
Hey, look, I just had a flash forward, you know, not a flashback, but a flash forward was like, this thing goes viral, and then you talk about double dipping. Nah, that was like in 2000, whatever, right? Back in the day, it was like, you know, long enough to where the statute of limitations. Anyway, he saw me doing that, and we both was connected to the same company on the side while being at another company. Because I was doing my time sheet and tried to do it real fast, and he walked past and was like, oh, snap. He's like, hey, can I holler at you? And I'm thinking he came in at a management level, so I'm thinking, dang, he about to reprimand me, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never met nobody that moved the way I move. He was like, man, what's up with you? And he introduced himself. Man, we've been like that was almost 13 years ago.
Oh.
That's 13 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I just bought my house, I think. And we've been cool, like we like family now. And that was off of that interaction. Because he told me what he do. I told him what I do. He's like, man, let's get money. And that was it. So I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I feel like it works both ways with me. Like I got a better appreciation for you. I then met other people through Ola and you know what I'm saying? Some of the other Tesla and all, you know, some of the other people through that basketball connection. So I can appreciate that too. But I guess what I'm saying is for me, it don't gotta happen like that. Like it can just happen straight up on through osmosis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I see what your point is, and that's part of the reason I wanted to have you on, because I wanted to make sure I had some people who do it differently.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you do it differently. And what I wanted to know, and it might be hard. It's like, for example, if you are a fish swimming in the ocean, you don't know that you're in the ocean, and so you don't like. One of the things that my wife, like, she's terrible with directions. You know what I'm saying? Like like you can tell her all, like she could have been there. You know, all that good stuff, she is not going to remember. You can tell her all day, she's not going to remember any of that stuff. So it's hard, like, in the same kind of thing with, like, my daughter. Sometimes I get frustrated when I'm trying to teach her because, like, my son and myself, like, you hear something and it sticks. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I can't even get how you're not getting it. Like, why do I have to explain it a couple hundred times?
That's me and my daughter. Me and my daughter, the way you and your son are. And then I got the issue with my son that you have with your daughter.
Okay.
Yes. But he gets me in every other way. Like we get each other. Like he see a man, I see a young man, and it's like boom, but it doesn't transfer logically. Like just our way of thinking. It's just like
it's fucking crazy how the brain works. When you dealing with children, man, you start to really understand how crazy the brain works and how shit, you know what I'm saying? Like how things are like, you see something in one way and it doesn't translate to everything else.
Yeah. But he's like my wife. He's like my wife. My wife and him are like, they good. You know what I'm saying? They the same way. And then like my daughter's more like me. So like dealing with him is like dealing with my wife in terms of getting him to understand me. No, seriously. That's real talk. And I've been able to reason in my relationship with him for that. So I got like a prototype, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't feel like something wrong with him. You know, I'm just like, no, that's your mom. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. No, I definitely get it. Like, you know, my daughter is like my wife too. So like, I mean, it makes me realize that it's not something that, because a lot of times you come into this earth and you think that whatever it is that you're experiencing, everybody else is experiencing. Right. As you grow older, you start to realize that, you know what, like, you may see colors differently. Like I have the same words we're both seeing, but it might be completely different. Right. And but the reason like I said, I think you do things a bit differently than what's been described in these articles and this phenomenon. And I want to have your take on these things. I definitely see that you are not the kind of a person who, you know, would be stuck by that. You would be able, like, and I think, and maybe it's just a personality thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I see you as a person who's both authentic, and I'm wondering how authenticity plays a role into it. You know what I'm saying? Like authentic, like at every point, you're who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like right now, I feel basically at ease having this conversation with you. Right. But I could also be at ease having like a different conversation with somebody else in a different way. So like, I feel like sometimes I'm playing two different roles, you know what I'm saying? Or two different types of people. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of has some kind of cognitive dissonance in my mind about who I'm supposed to be. But I wonder, you know what I'm saying, what you think, let me see what question. There's so many questions that I'm running in my mind right now. But the first one is I'm gonna ask is, what do you think about yourself makes you as authentic as you are, and how much of a role do you think it plays in being able to connect with other people?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I see where you're going with that. Everything, you know what I mean? It's everything, and it's a good point that you make, and it's something that the point that you're making aligns to my disposition. Like I don't even, I'm not aware of that. It's subconscious. You know what I'm saying? I'm not able to be anything but me. And I learned this when I was in, probably the biggest time it really hit home was in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you had like a junior high experience or middle school. Like did you start at 6th grade and go to the 8th grade?
6th to 8th, yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you already know, you come in and that's like your first experience. Like coming out of elementary, you started too young to remember. So you don't know what the early start was. You just start to come into play when, you know what I'm saying, you getting to be known and you something, and then you in the 5th grade and you the biggest thing, and then boom, 6th grade and you a freshman. You at the bottom of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this your first, this 6th grade is your first freshman experience.
Yes,
you don't
sir.
have no other, you don't have no other recollection of being the little homie in an environment. Yep. So I come in 6th grade and I'm now going to school with a different neighborhood. I know a lot of them dudes because they stay with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? A rough hood where they broke into my grandmother's spot and we had to move her out of there. Like that type of, you know what I'm saying? But she just moved across the gate. Like we still,
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm now around these people. Like, and I'm still the little homie. So I'm trying to figure my way. So I'm like, all right, what do I play the, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to scrap a couple times. I held my own. I was Mayweather out there with my young amateur record.
We black, ain't we? Unless you grew up in come on. Like, honestly, to God, like I had this conversation with my wife, like until I got to college, I did not know a person.
Right.
Who had not been in a fight. When I first found out that there was a kid,
all my life I had to fight.
Who had not been in a fight, I was like, how is that possible? Like, I was really perplexed. I thought it was a part of growing up.
Nah, but I envy that a little bit. I wish we grew up with more. We got so much PTSD, you know what I'm saying? Like different levels of it, you know what I'm saying? But we are stressed. Our ancestry is stressed like that, you know what I mean? So we pop off, like, it's fight or flight. I'm sure you've been in that situation. It's been fight or flight for me a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I'm going around looking for a fight, But I said that as a caveat to say I really didn't have no more than that to try to be some kind of like, tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Try to be, like Mike Epps said, an unsuccessful thug. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I felt like I had to. At that time, if you remember, man. So I'm 39. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think you got me a little bit, but I don't think you too older than me.
I got you, boy. 40.
Oh, okay, just a year. Okay, so the time frame I'm talking about was 93. Yeah, it was 93. 93 to 94, 95. Because I ain't going to high school till 96. So 93, 94, we only gotta. You can look up the playlist at that time, like the top songs, hip hop, R&B. I don't know if it was who was it that sung the Roughneck song? MC Light? Was that MC Light?
Yeah, that's MC Light. Yep.
Got a roughneck. Gotta have a roughneck. Yo, MC Light messed the game up for me and all the unsuccessful thugs. Cause now,
you putting all that weight on her.
I'm saying yes. That time frame. I'm gonna speak for me and mines, right?
Okay.
Not my whole region and everybody that's from my area.
When did Onyx come out?
Exactly. She prompted all that. Onyx, Wu-Tang, everything came out of that. I'm trying to.
She was before Onyx?
Yes. Look it up, man. Look it up.
Okay, I gotta look it up. I don't know. My numbers and my music don't work like my years and my music don't work like that.
Roughneck started a movement where thugs became sexy to women. Like they wanted a thug. I gotta watch out. Gotta get a rough thug. I was like, yo, this song was aggressive. And I'm coming off of, I want to say this is Tevin Campbell. I want to say this is Another Bad Creation, Criss Cross. You know what I mean? Pretty Boys, MC Hammer. I'm coming off of that. But then the Roughneck come out, I said, damn, my ways ain't gonna match that. So I had to try to be the thug. We gonna make it all the way back to why I'm
Hold on. I know this ain't the topic, but didn't NWA come out before that Roughneck joint?
Okay.
Well, I really want to put it on NWA.
Right. No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Because I remember we used to, huh?
No, I was gonna say, I think they were scared of NWA though. Like NWA wasn't sexy to them. I'm telling you, when thugs became sexy, I'm not saying she created thuggery. You know what I'm saying? But it was a woman talking to her girls. Okay. Like, I gotta get a roughneck. I need a what? Okay. Gotta get a roughneck. You know, and MC Lyte is she's a nice looking chick. She wasn't she wasn't a roughneck. She was a pretty girl, and other pretty girl song was like, I gotta get that roughneck. And that's what I'm saying. So I think at that point, Eazy-E and all them was the shit for the women. You know, they love him, you know? So I'm saying all that to say, okay, boom, I hit the school and I gotta switch it up. The energy's different. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to the barber now. My mother used to cut my hair. I gotta go to the barber. I gotta get cash. My gear. I'm aware of my gear now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to these Ninja Turtle shoes before that. I don't care. Now I gotta have some Jordans. I gotta have a starter jacket. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So I'm trying to be what I think I'm supposed to be to you know, for the girls and for the respect, you know what I'm saying, or the homies or whatever. And I spent 2 years just not doing that too well. You know what I'm saying? Like having just average, okay, like I'm that dude, but I'm not me. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. Okay. I hit 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? I spent a good portion of my summer in New York. You know, so, well, really Jersey. Jersey in South Orange. My Aunt Rose lived in South Orange, and we used to go to the Union. The Union. I don't know. It's like an outdoor mall, there's like a market. It was called the Union.
It might be. I'm not from Jersey. My wife is from Jersey.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Well, she might know. It might be. Yeah, you can ask her. But anyway, and so I come back like, they accepted me for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just was myself that whole summer, and I just got real comfortable in my skin. Like, all my experiences was authentic. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, this feels a lot better than trying to be roughneck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't, you know, I'm really not that dude. And I mean, I'm getting involved in all type of shit just to low-key be that dude. You know what I'm saying? With motherfuckers that really was that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't going to incriminate myself or people, but I'm just, you understand what I'm saying? Then I said, man, I'm having the same good time, and I ain't got to run. I ain't got to look over my shoulder. I ain't got to explain nothing to my mother, you know? And I said, man, this feels much better than that bullshit. So then I just came back that year, me, and they ain't never looked back. All been me. I mean, and it rubbed off in different ways, you know what I'm saying? We're just leaving that in terms of, you know, how the ladies was playing me, because I'm sure my wife ain't too far. I wish I had an East Wing where I could just, you know, like be in the damn Oval Office. I ain't got a damn Oval Office, man. We not doing it. God damn it, the Legacy Investment Group didn't make me the money I thought I was going to make. I was supposed to have an Oval Office. But we did all right, but God damn it. Anyway, I say that because that'd be a conversation later. But you know what I'm saying? I was being me. All my homies was respecting me. We was all growing together. That's when me and Mike really, I felt, became close. You know what I'm saying? Like family. And Phil was always there. Like I met Mike later. Well, you know, at them days it was later. I met Mike in the 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I knew Phil since the 3rd grade. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, man. And that was it. And I mean, and Mike was Mike. Phil was Phil, you know what I'm saying? Some of the other dudes we was kicking it with at the time, they wasn't them set. They was still roughneck, you know what I mean? And we just got comfortable being intelligent, man. Like it wasn't even, dog, at that time, you talking about roughneck? It wasn't, you was soft and, you know, low-key would have been considered like gay or something, or like soft is probably the better way they would look at it if you got good grades. Like it wasn't cool to be like, man, I'm on the honor roll, I'm killing it. You know what I'm saying? People would get their grades and be like, man, I got a D in this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like laughing it off, like, man, fuck school, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm taking the shit serious and really getting good grades because my mother was still whoop my ass at that point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, I became comfortable being an honor roll student. I became comfortable. My mother used to embarrass me because we would have fundraisers and I would bring home the packet and people might sell, you know, a couple of things to their neighbors, family members. My mother would take the packet to work and sell out. She worked at a clinic. Sell out the whole clinic, all the doctors, patients, everybody. And we'd be selling like $300-400 worth of tickets, winning big ass prizes. Like, like I remember my mother won a whole TV and shit, you know? Yeah. So every year I would come back and it'd be embarrassing because the fundraiser people would come up and be like, yeah, you know, this is, you know, Jovan, one of our biggest sellers. Come on down, Jovan. I'm like, shit. Everybody looking at me like this nigga pressed to sell, fundraising and shit. And, you know, but I became comfortable being that guy. Yeah, it's me. I'm the dude that's about to win all the prizes. I got good grades, you know what I'm saying? And I'm silly than a motherfucker. I like to crack a joke, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you will still get fucked up around here. If you know what I'm saying? If you try me the wrong way, you know, so I became so comfortable being that guy. You know what I'm saying? Everything about me with my mom, you know, being overzealous and trying to push the girls away and all this, all kind of things that used to embarrass me. It actually became something that I could laugh at. I somehow felt very comfortable, you know what I'm saying, about, you know? And that was it. After that, man, it was like, yeah, I'm me. And so if you meet me and you good with me, then I'm good with you. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, however we come in contact, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, legacy or playing basketball or whatever, is I'ma be me. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I know I gotta give people different you know, different experiences with me. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, it's almost like this. It's almost like a spice, right? Like, you know, it's mild, you know what I'm saying? Or some people like, you know, that extra, that raw, you know? So I'm not just going to jump out there and instantly be like, yeah, hey, here's who I am. But I'm never sending my representative either.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I don't even know how to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something I let go all them years ago in my childhood, you know, and it's felt good, man, you know? I mean.
Yeah, that's dope and that's free. And honestly, this is partially the reason why I'm trying to do it myself, like the let go of that. And I think, you know, we have similar experiences. I feel like, you know, my experience with you know, I guess like that lifestyle, you know, was probably a little later, although I got you know, into some trouble when I was a little younger. I got into some trouble, but then not necessarily hardcore stuff. Like, I mean, compared to what people really get into out there, I never really got into it. Like, but like when I was a little older, when I started playing, like when I was young, like I got immigrant parents. They wouldn't let me play football. I remember, you know, I had to sneak out and like had to stash my football equipment away so they didn't know I was doing it. They wouldn't sign the permission slips. So I had to sign it myself.
I went through the same thing, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I would be in the league right now. You understand me?
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't want me to get hurt because I was playing basketball. They wanted me to play basketball. I mean, I'm sorry, before that, my bad, I'm in the country. But I was playing basketball and T-ball. Not baseball, but T-ball. You know, you hit it off the tee. They wanted me to play shit like that. No, nothing contact, boxing, football. Listen. And I was doing all of it though like in the neighborhood with the homies. We was playing full tackle, like break your bones type.
Yes, with no equipment. I don't know if y'all play Kill the Carrier.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You talking about when you throw the ball up? You talking about you throw the ball up?
Anybody who get it, everybody jump on them. That was my sport.
Did y'all play like 4th and goal, like where you get on the goal line and it's like you got to get across the goal line?
We ain't get into that.
Oh man, it was just like, okay. So the way you won, you got to a certain score. So it's like maybe let's say the score is whoever get to 35 first. So that's like 7 touchdowns, you know. But you right there on the goal line. So you just had to get it however you get it. Some people
get it in there.
try to run the zone, jump over the line, or some people try to do a trick play. But I'm right there. I'm about to get, so yeah, man, we did. Dog, yeah, nah, go ahead. I done jumped in. I'm sitting here relating to you. I'm supposed to play football too, man.
Listen, man. When it's a good conversation, the audience gonna appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's all good. But what I was gonna say is, I mean, essentially, you know what I'm saying, like, when I actually, so my parents were always vigilant, but like high school, you know what I'm saying, after we had so many kids done going through, they started laxing. So that's when I started, like, I was actually like, they couldn't prevent me from getting on the football team. That's when I actually really started hanging out with folks, they had talent, but they were also not doing anything with the grades.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were also out in these streets. And that's when I started, like, really, and that's probably, there was an attraction to that from the beginning, but I also now started to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was always smart. And these dudes that I was hanging out with, they knew I was a smart guy. But at the same time, the people who didn't know me, like, they knew me a little bit better, but the people who didn't know me thought I was like this dumb dude because they just associated me with these dudes. But everybody knew the people I hung out with knew was like, okay, he's a little dude who's like the smart little dude.
You ain't got no business being there.
Exactly.
Right, that was me too. That was me too. Yep.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I mean, I think part of what I'm trying to do right now is what you did is basically accepting, that here's who I am, and finding it a little bit more difficult because, you had, I would say, a lot more practice in being who you are. And like for me, balancing the two is making it a little bit more difficult for me to really figure it out. And so that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. But having said that, my next question for you is, how you definitely are able, like, how much of your personality is playing a role into it? Because, like, you're a funny dude. What I find with Mike too is, like, he also relies on humor. But, like, what I know is true of myself and also true of a lot of people is, like, you can't really joke with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that I knew growing up is you ain't gonna clown me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's an audience, nah, I'm not even getting it. I'm not going to start joking. And I can't even do it. I can't do it that well. I can't snap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not the one
but
who's
you
going to
hold
be
your
snapping
own.
back and forth.
That's what I used to love about all the interactions, because I remember when you did just come on, you just came right in, and, like, people was like, hold up, dude, like, wait a minute, but you was solid, like, you was like, nah, whoop-de-whoop. So, that's what's, I mean,
but the thing, but it was always hostility. Everybody else was coming in with, like, jokes. And for me, it was like, I'm just going, y'all ain't going to get me, bro.
Yeah, now you came in with your guard up. You came in with your guard up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you was coming in raw. Like, we had kind of established a rapport. Yeah. And so I mean, but no, I mean, I still thought it, I don't know if you didn't feel how you felt, but I mean, it felt authentic. Like, it felt like we was experiencing you, like, this is you, you know what I'm saying? And you was bringing that flavor to the group. Yeah. And it actually came at a time we really needed a jolt of new energy, because you know how Legacy was. I mean, we was going through one of them nobody was saying nothing phases, I would always try to pop on something, but
the pictures. I remember the pictures. I wasn't participating, but I always remember damn World Star pictures and videos.
Hey, man, that was, man. I just was like, man, we here, man, and why not? I knew what Mike, Mike's story was amazing. I mean, when his mom passed, that hit me hard too. I grew up, that was like my mom too, you know what I'm saying? So we all went through that. Like, it was a rough, but so when me, Mike, and Phil was already in business together. We had a real estate thing and everything.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That started off, going after one thing, and then we transitioned to something else. But then when we got in, it was just bad, like when the market crashed and all that. So we got out of that. You know what I'm saying? We went through some times with that. And then he was like, look, we pulled the bag out. We kind of regrouped ourselves, and he didn't give us a minute to get comfortable. He was like, all right, look, this is the next thing we're gonna do. And and that's Mike has always been a big homie like that, So when he told me, and I don't know if he told y'all the same story, how his mom had motivated him to do that, you know what I'm saying, from like group investing that they did in their family, and he was carrying on her legacy with that. And that was where legacy came from.
Yeah.
And I was so moved by that. I said, man, okay, I'm in. It's a no-brainer. And these, man, it's a bunch of, 9 other black men, fathers and in different levels, areas of their life. I said, man, let's do it. So then my thing was, all right, let's be on the money, but let's also like be on the relationship. Let's get to know each other. Let's hang out. I was always trying to push that. And then I would try to crack jokes and just, let's make this more like interactive. Like, how you are with family. I meet people and then we vibing and you good peoples and I know somebody can vouch for you. You family. You family. You came over here. I was like, hey, Mack, help yourself downstairs. You know what I mean? That's the bar. Whatever on the bar is yours.
Yes, sir.
You got people that'll tell you,
sir.
Look, when you go down there, don't touch the Hennessy White because I don't know when the next time. I'm
going to travel to Jamaica.
Yeah. Do whatever you do. You home, man. You family. Yeah. So, but I know everybody isn't comfortable being like that. Like, it's like, don't get me wrong. It doesn't come from me being careless about discernment. You gotta read people. My grandmother used to say, try the spirit by the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hip to that, but it don't take me long to do that. And I'm not saying I'm right about everybody. I don't say, oh, okay, now you family, and now all of a sudden we best friends. No, I'm just saying now you had that opportunity to get that close to me where, I consider you family. You know what I'm saying?
So would you say that? So what do you think is if you had to put your finger on it? What do you think you is the the element? Like what is it about? What do people do when they want to create like real bonds and real relationships, specifically with other men, but like in general, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? What do you do and what do you think it is?
I think I think I'm just intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like I think people, I mean, and I mean, that's kind of authentic or intentional. It's like, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And you'll know that I value your time and I value you valuing my time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like you had dudes like, okay, we set this up. Now I knew I was gonna be running late. Yeah. I took it upon myself to let you know that, right? And be like, look, my bad, man. Look, can we push it back? And not only did I tell you, I told you why. Like I didn't have to. Some dudes don't feel like, you got this bravado, man. Everybody wants to be the alpha male, so I ain't got to answer to you. I ain't gotta explain myself to you. Matter of fact, I get there when I get there. Like maybe not even. It's 8:00 and you just sitting here waiting and nothing. And then my bad. Yeah. My bad. I had something come up, but what's up? Like that. I'm not that guy. Like I'm comfortable enough in myself, my manhood, to where I can be accountable to somebody and I can let somebody hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Yeah. So I said,
you're a professional too, though. You understand the nature of that too. You're a professional.
Okay. Well, yeah.
For that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not just saying that's the only reason.
No, but it helps. It helps. Yeah. It helps. I mean, but I mean. Before that, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like, just how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't, saying single, I'm only child, single parent, just my mother. I didn't know my pops, you know what I'm saying? He was out the picture. Okay. So I don't know if that plays a part in it, like being raised by a woman, but also still having male figures that played that fatherly role, you know what I'm saying? Right. You're brought up with different sensitivities from a woman than you are from a man. You know what I'm saying? My mother played both roles, but I saw how she treated people and how she expected people to treat her. You know what I'm saying? And I picked up on that. You know what I'm saying? So I come up with a certain bit of appreciation for etiquette and protocol and saying thank you and I appreciate it and excuse me and you know what I mean? Like just sir, ma'am, like, but with all my confidence and with all and with all my respect that I'm giving, but I'm expecting in return. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could take it back to that, because for me that's just, it's like the right thing to do. It's just like it's like what I feel naturally led to do. What is it called? A conviction. You know, my natural convictions. I think my natural childhood, how I was raised, convictions forced me to treat people a certain type of way. And people come in contact with that experience and they either accept it or they don't. The ones that don't, we're not having this conversation.
So yeah, I mean, let's talk about that then. And so what if you do have a guy who's like positioning, being bravado and all that good stuff? How do you handle that? And obviously, if it gets egregious, you had the issue multiple times. Like, you know, everybody, it's clear, right? For most people, it's like, this dude is an asshole. I ain't fucking with him. Like, and if he's that kind of an asshole, he probably ain't fucking with a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
But how do you deal with it, like, so that you don't, I guess, when it first happens, so that you can address it in a way that doesn't go off course? How do you, what do you do when you notice it? Or do you notice it often? Answer both questions. Do you notice it often? And when you do notice it, how do you address it?
That's when my sense of humor come in. You know what I mean? Because it's funny to me for anybody to walk around like they Debo, like it ain't another Debo. You know what I'm saying? Or a Debo times two. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so I sense of humor comes in because I don't take them serious. I don't take nobody like that serious, because you're the loudest guy in the room. And my uncle taught me that a long time ago. That's the first person you hit. You know what I mean? Because he's the softest guy in the room. He ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So when you gotta lead,
he's a sheep in wolf skin.
Yes, you're overcompensating. Your bark is bigger than your bite. You know, you insecure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not going to take you serious enough to feel like I got to compete with you, because I can do more to, enlighten you. You know what I'm saying? I could be my brother's keeper more by, you know what I'm saying, guiding you without you knowing that I'm guiding you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to walk around. Like, I had an English bulldog. This how they walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't tell him that I wasn't walking him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he think he walking me, you know what I'm saying? He like, he following me. Like, that's how I used to walk, you know? That little Bentley, man, he passed away 2 years. It's crazy. But, I feel like guys like that are like my bulldog. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at him like, look, I mean, it's your mindset when you leading with your masculinity like that. It's just a growth. It's just a growth thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you comfortable in your skin, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. You know who you are. You know what you are. You know what you stand for. As soon as you figure out what you would die for, you a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm sitting here knowing what I die for. I'm not tripping off of you being, whatever. You can be that. I don't take you serious, and then I'm going to let you be that. So then you feel comfortable around me, because you like, hey, you're a cool dude. Because you don't feel... most men, I don't say most, but I mean, a lot of men may not do that. Maybe a tug of war. Like, what you think you something, I'm going to step on, you know what I mean? We're gonna compete. And if you're used to that song and dance, when you come across somebody that's not even like, all right, yeah, what's up? You got it. What's good? You know what I mean? And I'm still me. I'm still cool. We're good. I'm not intimidated. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not pressed to, like, go ahead, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel having it is, you got it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Yeah, that's great. That's a great answer. I think that's key. I think when I spoke with not he didn't express it in the same way, but I think it's the same exact thing. Basically, it's like, you got it. Like, I'm not going to try to compete with it. Like, you can do it. You do your own thing. But all right, so a couple more questions.
So I got right, you know what I'm saying, on a Zoom call. I was on 2 Zoom calls back to back. It was overwhelming. I'm just, I'm vibing with my family. And then my homies from Texas come in. So I didn't have time to transition. It was just like, boom, I got to leave one Zoom call and another. My wife is going, she's still on that call. So I come over here. and they was already drinking. You know what I'm saying, I ain't have my drink with me. So I just in a rush had to grab the bottle that, you know, was right there. You know what I'm saying? So I come around the corner, I grabbed the Macallan. But I ain't had no cup. So like, come on, Jay, we ain't got time, man. We got to chill. Man, I twisted the jaw and took it to the head, man. Out the like it's a 40. He said, man, Jay over there drinking that Macallan like it's a 40, man. I said, man, don't never tell this story, man. Because they ain't gonna let me live it down, man. But yeah, salute, man. This is good.
Were they recording it?
Huh?
Were they recording it?
No. The revolution shall not be televised. No, sir.
Here we go.
No, sir.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So with respect to activities, which you know what I'm saying, we already know that you don't necessarily have to you don't abide by those definite rules. But one of the things that I did say or I theorize is that we do actually like have some type of sport whenever it is that we get together. Like, so it's not necessarily like your traditional sports, but like, for example, after we go play basketball,
right,
what's the topic that we usually start talking about?
Let me think. Wait a minute. Yeah, it probably is basketball.
Other than basketball, though, other than the actual sport, what do we talk about?
After we play, like right after we play.
Yep.
All
right, let me let you off the hook. Is it not about women?
Women? No, I said women. Yeah, I said.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Right, so from my perspective, that's like almost that's like it's a sporting event too. Like the way that's how I look at it too. Like it's a sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, what can I do with this? Here's what I'm gonna attempt to do. It's either a win or lose or whatever the case may be, and everybody's like recounting their own. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, you know, if that is part of it. Like, if we definitely like, because I don't know. Like, for example, right now, every time you said we're gonna have a platonic relationship, pause. How vulnerable do you get with your close friends, and do you feel like most of the time, and because I'm having a good time with you, and I feel like you are like my kind of dude, you know what I'm saying? But how much of that is, sport? How much of that is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is not because you're also an honest dude, you know what I'm saying? Where you're opening up about exactly what you were feeling and what you, at the time when you were growing up, which I appreciate with people, and I think that's part of what disarms people. But I'm wondering if like with your friends, whether it's the close ones or the ones that are like more superficial, if it does remain on a sporting event, and how much vulnerability you get in there.
Well, I'm pretty. I would say I'm pretty vulnerable because I'm very comfortable. Like when I say pause and no homo and all that just because it's like
it's cultural.
It's culture. That's culture. Yeah. It's cliche. It's culture. It's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I probably do it more so for saying one of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like than I do for myself. It's like because I mean sometimes I don't say nothing and people are like, whoa, pause. What? You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
it's a joke.
Yeah, whatever. So I mean, but so because of that, I don't have like this this homophobe thing or whatever. Like, it's weird how it's even a thing. I never understood it. It's like I hate that it's a thing. I wish it was just not even news. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just sidebar Michelle Obama's book and everything, and then is it
Becoming?
Yeah.
Becoming, yeah.
Becoming. Yeah. And she had a moment in there where she was talking about her and Barack was at the Birmingham church, the Bible study that got shot up?
Birmingham? Oh yeah, when he did the Amazing Grace. Oh, you saw the Netflix joint?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I did.
Oh, okay, I ain't want to mess it up.
Yeah, I saw. I haven't listened to the whole book. My wife did, but yeah. I saw.
I had my daughter watch it today as well, and she writing a essay on it and whatnot. And there was a moment in there though that I hope I don't have to talk to her about, because she said from that scene, she said we went from that to the Marriage Freedom Act, something like that, and it had the whole White House lit up rainbow.
Yeah. And she had to like go out.
Yeah. And so I'm like, man, why is that a thing? That's something we got to talk about. And on a day like that, you know what I'm saying? That's not a thing, man. That's like what you do. Fine, that's what you do. If that's what you do, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? We had a homie, man. I ain't even gonna put him out there because you don't know him nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But it's a guy I went to college with. No, I'm gonna tell you how comfortable, you know what I'm saying? So he got another set of friends, right? You know how you got your group. Like I would consider you a part of a group of friends I got. You know what I'm saying? Then I got another group that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's that group, And and I'll mix the two groups unless it makes sense,
Yeah.
So he's the same way. So this group also knows another group of my friends, or people in the group outside of the group. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, they had a falling out. And his other group says to one of my homies on the back end, how I don't even know how y'all can be, associated with dude. Y'all know how he going. I'm like, what you mean? How he going? And they talking about they seen old boy coming out of gay club and all kind of stuff. Yeah. Now, God damn it. Now that's just, so this how comfortable I am and vulnerable and all that kind of stuff. That's my brother. At the end of the day, that's my brother. Real shit. Like he been with me. I would keep it all the way funky. So I got a DUI. You know what I'm saying? I got a DUI. I'll put it out there. Boom. It's on the record. Ain't nothing I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? He was with me. Okay. I almost got a DUI. Let me clarify. I almost got a DUI. When I say I got a DUI, they locked my black ass up. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
They
locked you up. They didn't do the breathalyzer test.
I refused it. I knew enough.
Okay.
I've been drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
So I almost got one, but technically that night I got one because they locked me up. My wife had to come get me. You know what I'm saying? And then when I he was with me. He was with me. So he left. They got he drove my car back. He drove my car back. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like I came back and it was just like, hey man, we just gonna have to ride this out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He takes me to court that day because I didn't know if I was gonna have to sit down for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they could just give you 30 days or whatever, just to make an example, Never had no offense, nothing. He shows up with me, you know what I'm saying? And he's the guy that's either going, take me back to my crib as a free man, or he gonna go back to my crib and have to tell my peoples like, he got to sit down for a little bit. So that's family like that, when we sat there and then the police officer ain't show up and we, you know what I'm saying? Oh, snap, you know what I'm saying? We got to throw one back, homie, That's that type of brother. This is the guy who they're saying came out of gay club, right? So I say,
did you know ahead of time or did you not know?
Did I know what? If he was gay or something?
Yeah.
No. Even to this day, I have no reason to believe
it's not confirmed.
No.
Oh, they just talking shit, really.
Well, I mean, they said they saw something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I'm not talking
shit.
But okay. Well, yeah, it could be. Sure. It could be. It could be for sure. I consider that as well. I mean, that ain't no man. That's not what we do. We know Caddy say what we saw, who said what, But yeah, they was on that. But that's his friends though. These are people that he embraced that I know through him. So why would you have people around you like that, and why would they be talking like that, and what? So I said I'm not gonna leave nothing to chance. You family, this how vulnerable, comfortable we are. We go out, me and a group of homies that know this guy. You know what I'm saying? If this ever goes viral, the group is gonna know. I'm not gonna say any names, but y'all know what this is about. Everybody who know, I would never say a name, you know what I'm saying? But everybody that know me and is listening to this knows the story. Even the guys who said something, everybody, right? But
the dude will now know that they said that shit though. Your
that's
homeboy.
fine. No, he knew that anyway. He knew that.
He knew that? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Because, okay, this is what we did. We went out. We was, I ain't gonna say what we was, because then people gonna really know. We was in the city somewhere, one of the cities. I'm not gonna say which one it was, right? and we partying, and we get them drunk, because we like, yeah, man, you know. And matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie, because this particular dude, I will say this, even though he's single, right? You know what I'm saying? So we could, you know, we all married dudes. We, you know what I'm saying? We handle ourselves like professionals, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna let him get his in, have a good time. So we tempted him. We trying to pull joints for him to see how he react. Cause we like, man, word on the street is, you know what I'm saying? You might be, you might be, you know what I mean? You might be just living your life a different way. You know what I'm saying? So, no judgment. It just need to know. You know what I'm saying? So he's just playing it cool, like he always do, actually. There's nothing abnormal about this night, but our sensitivities are high. And we not comfortable right now. You know what I'm saying? But we vulnerable enough to make it be known. So we get out the club, and our whole intention was to either test him with a chick and see how he move, or get him drunk so he'll tell the truth. So we just pour him drinks. So we all, look, the problem is, it's so funny if anybody that sees this. We are so, now we're all messed up. You know what I'm saying? So we like, man, we got to get it together, because we laughing and we all tripping. So I got to be the one. They always call me I wish they could tell you what they call me, but I'm like, I guess the parliamentarian. That's it. Parliamentarian.
Okay, what is that? What is that? What does that mean?
It's like the.
I know what it really means, but what does that mean to you?
No, just with the real meaning. Like, I get everything in order. Come on now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
The fun police. All right, stop all this shit. What is we here for?
Okay.
You know,
responsible nigga.
That's it. So we
don't even use that word anymore. I don't even use that word anymore. It just came the fuck out.
Hey man, because we having a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so look, we on the corner, whatever. I can't even give that much away, even though I'm giving so much away. But we downtown, and I stop everybody right there on the intersection. I say, man, come on, man. Y'all, let's stop fronting for my man right now. You know what I'm saying? We family. You know, we gotta have a conversation. Now, y'all want to have this conversation, but this what we do. This what family do. If we, you know, if we don't talk about it, who gonna talk about it? This how I start. This is how I start to approach a grown man face to face. Like, are you playing for the other team? You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, how uncomfortable of a conversation is that in the Black community? You understand what I'm saying?
Very uncomfortable.
It could go.
For me, like, this gonna have to be a one-on-one, because I can't have a whole bunch of other dudes though.
No, but okay, but it's like, but nah, consider us all family. Like, it's like everybody, Jade and, you know, saying Ola and Tesla, and you know, just name all the homies that we hoop with, Yinka, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all family, right? But we all know that somebody you know is talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to confront you as a family. You would be okay with that if we had that, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like we just keep, you know, we gonna build that, you know what I'm saying? But
it's like, it's all good. We love you anyway, my dude.
Right, so that's how I came. But see, I was the only one, I would say, in my crew, in this crew of brethren, I was the only one comfortable enough to you know, stop all the good times and say, man, let's get down to it, because it's getting late. You know what I'm saying? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't nobody wanting to leave yet, because we got to have this conversation. That's the main reason we got out tonight, the way we did it. Yeah. And I just stopped everything and just went right in. And I mean, my man was, you know, like I said, that's my man, but he ain't no sucker either. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it could have went either way, because I know how I would have felt. You put my back against the wall, you asking me questions that I don't feel like you should be asking me. Not that there's anything wrong with that for the viewership, you know, but
Yeah, I would laugh that shit off because I know, like, seriously, man, like, seriously? Like, for me, like, I can't even imagine somebody asking me that. So I don't even know how it would feel.
So the problem was okay, it's two problems. There's one problem is that you're being accused of something, of a lifestyle that you may or may not be associated with. And the other problem is it came from somebody who you close to, you thought was your man. We got to give you that too, because you run around with some sucker niggas that, you know, they don't really understand the rules of the game. I mean, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not if you my man. If you, you know what I'm saying, you the homie, that's what we talking about, relationships. That's what this is all about. That's, I don't do that. That's rude. But see, there's people that don't understand that. And he caught himself, I guess he caught himself trying to help him. Like he thought maybe it was cool to just, let me put it out there and expose you and make you comfortable with you or whatever. I don't know what the intention was, but it was foul to me. So we dealt with that first. And then we dealt with this subject of, are you that guy? Are you that guy? Like, I mean, you know, what's up with you? Are you, you know? And it was like, and it was uncomfortable. It's so funny, man, if these dudes see this, because they're going to know this moment. I feel like I'm there right now, because he was like, he was just like frozen, like looking at me like he, like,
serious?
Yeah. And I was like, I said, look, we had a moment where we didn't say nothing. We were just sitting there looking. And I was like, listen. I said, all this aside, you know what I mean? Oh, good night, Queen. Baby girl.
Hi.
Good night. Hello. Yo, mine went to sleep. What time is it, man? Y'all,
they supposed to be asleep 19 minutes ago at least.
Oh, 9:30, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mine's is about 8:30 / 10 o'clock, and they still be up. They probably up right now.